Morning, my friends. Welcome back to Dee and Doug Retire. I hope you're all having a good day. I'm heading up to the hospital. It's early. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. They're saying that we're going to get a snowstorm tomorrow and Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday, they're calling for a snowstorm. So I probably won't be able to get up to the hospital. So I want to go today and see what's going on. Then I want to come home and do a traditional Italian wedding soup. Since the weekend will probably be snowed in, I figured what better than a nice big pot of soup. My brother-in-law said he was going to come Saturday, but I don't know yet. I have to see. And I told him that I would definitely let him know in the morning if the snow started to fall early, because he's coming from Long Island. So I don't want to see him in some kind of bad weather situation. Other than that, I want to go up and check. They moved her out of her room. They put her in a private room. But I feel like we're going 2 steps forward and then 2 steps backwards. So I want to see what's happening today. So that's why I'm leaving early. And my goodness, I'm waiting for the sun to come out, because look at those clouds. It is ominous looking. Anyway, let me head out, and then I'll catch us all up when I get out of the hospital. Well, I'm here, and it is cold. It is very cold. There's no parking. So I had to park back there with Dorothy and get a morning walk in. And I am. So I'll go in and I'll see what's going on. There's a few snowflakes flying around. It's winter. Here we go. Let's go to the 7th floor. I hate elevators. Well, it's 3 hours later, and they're putting like a feeding tube in right now. It's called a pick line, so she can get some nutrients. It's a little bit snow right now, just a tiny bit. I gotta stop at the store. I gotta get some escarole for my chicken soup that I wanna make. But other than that, she's in pretty good spirits. 100% no. Not even near. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It is cold, kids. It is cold. There's a snowstorm coming. I'm walking up a hill as I speak to you right now. I'm like Paul Bunyan. Anyway, I'll see you back at my house. Oh, thank goodness. Now I'll run in to go get the escarole. Yes, how fast was that to get to the grocery store? If it could only be that easy. By the way, my mother-in-law, Betty, is thanking you all for your prayers and your kind thoughts for her. So I appreciate it, and so does she. She wanted me to pass that message on to all of you. She said, please tell everybody thank you for all the kind messages. Oh, I'm a mess. Oh, and another thing, oh, look how rosy red I am. Look how your girlfriend's all rosy red. They had no orzo pasta, so I'm gonna have to use the star pasta in making the Italian wedding soup. Traditionally, you would use the orzo that looks like rice and escarole in the soup, but they didn't have either one. So I'm gonna use the stars, and I'm gonna use the greens for spinach, or I'm gonna have the spinach as green. I'm all mixed up. Let me go home. Home. Home, sweet home. Now let me get these few packages. Hello, my love. Now I'm back in my kitchen. I'm telling you, I'm all over the place today. I do my soup with chicken legs, and I'm gonna tell you why. There's less fat on a chicken leg. It is. And you don't have to pull so much oil and grease off the top. And I'll show you in the process. And it's cheaper. Chicken legs are cheap. And you can make a delicious pot of chicken soup with chicken legs. Plus the bones give it a lot more gelatin in the soup. Which would be like collagen. Collagen for your body. Anyway, let's get started. I always wash my chicken legs, just so that you know. Give them a nice little scrub. Now, I know you might be surprised with this. But I'm taking the whole onion. I'm making a chicken stock. So the whole onion goes in. And I'm going to take some celery ends and throw that in the pot for the stock. And I'm going to do the same thing with the carrots. Okay, so the celery ends are in the soup along with carrots. Make sure you clean this celery end. Never throw them out. You could always stick them in the freezer and use them when you're making soup. There's some carrots and there's a whole onion in here. And I'm just going to let this cook for about 2-3 hours to get a really rich chicken stock. We'll be back. So while that chicken stock is cooking, I'm just going to take a bowl. Now, I'm going to cut up the rest of the celery, clean it, and more carrots, clean those as well. Chop them, dice them, so they'll be ready when that stock is done for me to put it in the clear, delicious stock, and along with the spinach, which I would typically put escarole in, and I would typically use orzo pasta because it looks like rice. That's why it's called Italian wedding soup. But the store didn't have any. And I have little pastinas, little stars. So I'm going to use that in my soup. Anyway, let this all do its thing. Let me chop my vegetables. And I'll be back later. To you, it'll be 2 seconds. Now, everything is cut up. The celery, the carrots. The only thing you would have to do is start the meatball mixture. I already have frozen meatballs in my freezer. Make them tiny. The favorite way you make your meatballs. Maybe a half a pound of ground beef. And if you do it with the traditional veal, pork, and beef, then you could just do like 1/4 pound of each and mix it all together and make your meatball mixture the way you would make a regular meatball. Roll them into tiny meatballs and drop them into the soup when the stock is done. So you have some time in between to cut vegetables, make little meatballs. This is why it's called Italian wedding soup. All right, I'll be back later. Oh, it's simmering and it's starting to smell good. Okay, the stock is done. I have another pot under the colander and I'm going to get all this. Look how beautiful and rich the stock looks. There we go. Perfect. Now what I do is I have the bones. I don't know if you can see that. Here, I'll just bring it up. See? Here's all the chicken and the carrots and the celery. Well, the chicken and the carrots, the carrots and the celery and the onion, they're dead. They're dead. You can eat them if you want, but I don't put them back in the stock. I don't. I have the stock on the stove. And now I'm going to stick in these vegetables and the spinach. Let's do that. Woo! My goodness. There we go. Into the pot. Like I said, I had them frozen. Let's pop them in. Remember the Italian store I went to? Well, they have the little meatballs. So I don't have to do that process, even though, believe me, I used to. And this is like a bag of meatballs, which is about a little under a pound. There we go. Just get those last two out. There we go. Stir it around. Oh, that is going to be so good. But of course we're not done. We have to cool the chicken down and put the chicken back in here and peel it apart. Okay, we're going to put the shredded chicken in. I shredded the chicken. Let's stick this in here. See all the meat that comes off of a chicken leg? Now, of course, you're not going to put the skin in here. And look how beautiful the broth looks. Of course, the spinach will really wilt down. So, the only thing that had to get done is I put the pasta, the little tiny macaronis, the little stars, in a separate pot. Because I do not want to throw dry pasta into my stock of chicken broth. It would absorb way too much. And believe me, that broth is delicious. Now you could add salt and pepper to that, anything you want. But that's really the end of that recipe. It's really simple, it's really easy. I hope you give it a try. If you're new to my channel, give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, leave a comment below. I love talking back and forth to the people that come over. And in a little while, we'll just have a little taste. Okay? All right. Here goes the pasta. Right in. The Little Star pasta. Mix it around. Oh. Oh, doesn't that look fabulous? Let's take a taste. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. I wish I had smell-o-vision. Oh, it smells so good. I wish you could smell it. My biggest thing is the stock. I always like to try the stock first. I got a couple of stars in here. Now, between the chicken, the meatballs, and the vegetables, and the fresh vegetables that are in there, I think you're going to absolutely love this soup. I love it. You could put a little Parmesan cheese on this too, just so that you know, and salt and pepper to taste. But this is so good. Manja, manja. It tastes delicious. Be kind to one another. The heart is all that matters. And I know I will see you all again and keep you updated on what's going on with my mother-in-law. Bye-bye, everybody. Mwah.